milks to talk about. It's just a break from the usual behind the table sort of a format. Getting a little bit tired of that. So we'll try something different. Just gonna walk around a little bit. Definitely not tired in the traditional sense though, because I've had some of this. And this is, I don't know if it's Co-Watch or Co-Walk, whatever it is. It's the first chocolate milk that I've had that is openly caffeinated. I believe it's got guarana in it, so it's got some caffeine in it. Now I have about one coffee per day, probably. I didn't have one today, but I was definitely could tell a difference when I had a sip of this. So I've already tried these. Just gonna talk about this and see what comes to mind. When I saw this on the shelf at Penny grocery store out here, I was immediately excited because the shape of the box, it's a nice kind of waxy cylinder here, and the fact that it's from Austria immediately reminded me of Bio Primo and Choco Bio, two of my favorites of all time, both 10s, phenomenal if you ever get a chance to try them. And upon pouring this out into a glass, it did look like it a little bit. It's so brown that it's almost red. It looks full of something. And when you try it, it's very chalky. It feels like it's staining your teeth, I think. Just checking in the mirror. It feels like you just want to scrape it off your teeth afterwards, but the flavor is quite good. It's really strong cocoa. It doesn't get any stronger than this. Just like the Cow Dark I had. It's similar sort of strength in cocoa and fairly light on the sugar too. It's not too sweet. So if you have this side by side with another chocolate milk, it'll shock you. It'll feel like unsweetened cocoa at first, but definitely worth a shot if you get a chance to try this or get it in the frame. What else do we got? Oh, up on the top of the fridge here we've got Milsani milk drink chocolate right next to the Dreamies. You'll see that's unopened, unfortunately. So I always buy cat treats in every city. I love cats. Always, and with the amount of walking around the cities we do, see tons of cats. Love to feed them on the street. Probably walked close to 20 miles here in Hamburg. I've seen 0 cats, so I haven't opened the Dreamies yet. But tell you, the next cat I see is going to get half the bag. So this stuff is. Picked this up at Aldi. It's not a brand, Milsani is not a brand that I've seen before. Been to Aldi's in many countries and in many states as well. So I was excited to see that. This is really, really thin. Very low viscosity. Yet it still maintains some of the cream, so I like that aspect of it. The viscosity to creaminess ratio is good. The chocolate taste is a little bit on the powdery side, could stand to be stronger. It's pretty average in a lot of respects, but it's very easily drinkable. Not too bad. There's another just like it, actually.
Keep in the bathroom.
You'll notice Milsani milk drink. This one's cacao instead of chocolate. And it's got, I don't know if that's Scovit, which maybe is co-branded with a brand of like powdered chocolate milk mix, kind of like we got Nesquik in the States. And I guess shout out to my Swedish friends, oh boy, out there in Sweden. I've seen that on the shelf. That's Scovit, so maybe it's made with that. The ingredients don't call that out specifically, but it seems to be co-branded. Now this one's much darker. I have to take my word for it. I've already poured it out and checked it out and stuff. But it has, aside from a similar thin texture to the chocolate version, it's got a more sour cocoa taste, a stronger cocoa taste. And despite having more sugar, tastes just about as sweet or even less sweet than the other because of that the sour note, I think, reins in the sugar a little bit and makes it less noticeable, but it's enjoyable. It's pretty flavorful. It might seem to some that when you have it that it feels watery, and that's probably only because of the real thin texture, but it doesn't have like a watery finish or a washed out feel to it. Lastly, we've got Milkshake Choco from Milbona. And Milbona is a brand you always find at, is it Lidl, whatever, grocery store that's expanded into the States, and you see in a lot of European countries. You see the Milbona brand quite a bit as well, and I think I've had 3 different kinds across Germany so far. With mixed results. This is a shake, and it's super thick. It's like drinking chocolate pudding, except the chocolate taste is it's kind of phony tasting. It doesn't really pay off. Oh, you know me, I don't really like the thick, super thick drink. So my first inclination was to pour it down the drain, but then was worried about clogging the drain. It's that thick. So maybe I'll pour this into some water just to see what it looks like. To going down into water, will probably do that, just because I'm sure it'll look like crap. Anyway, picked up 5 new ones today also, so probably have to do another round early in the morning for breakfast. So we'll check in with you then.